Good evening, everybody. I'm going to call this the June 23rd, 2025 meeting of the Brookings City Council to order. Everybody could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Mayor Hodges is out of town, so as the City Council President, I'll be presiding over the meeting. Is a roll call?
Councilor Momberg.
Here.
Councilor Pareda.
Here.
Councilor Martin.
Here.
Councilor Fulton. Here. Mayor Hodges. We have a quorum.
So first item on the agenda, ceremonies, appointments, and announcements. So I'll let the city manager make the announcement about the meeting start times.
Yes, Council President. Starting in July, the City Council will start meetings at 5:30 with workshops immediately following. Council meetings will remain on the second and fourth Mondays of each month. The council workshops will no longer be the first Monday of each month. They'll be specifically right after the council meetings on the second and fourth Mondays.
Okay, thank you. And the June Yard of the Month Awards, and Councilor Fulton was there for that.
Absolutely, we had a great time. Looking at amazing yard and an amazing commercial property with Pacific Coast Hearing, and then of course at 1332 Chrissy's Circle, and the owner Stephen and Leon was just amazing, wonderful. It was a great experience. My first one to attend. Now we're going to have to, put up dukes to go further, because that was a lot of fun, and it was just really good getting to know new people out there that I hadn't known before. And Anne had made one comment, it's not about the winning, but it certainly is incentivized for themselves, just the importance of making sure that everything was kept up, and they had a beautiful place. So anyway, it was a great experience. Glad I got to go.
Thank you. Great program. Oral requests and communications from the audience. We have 3, and we'll go through these in the order that are received. Do we have any more, or is this all 3 members of the public that are here? So I'm going to read from the script real fast. This is the time for public comments. If you have turned in a public comment form to the city recorder, comments are limited to 5 minutes. This is not the time for discussion. Council is not able to provide an immediate answer or response. The city manager may direct staff to follow up with you regarding your comment or questions if provided with contact information on the form. Before you make your comment, please state your name and address for the record. And the first one, Michael Frederick, and TLT funds and city community feedback.
I'm Michael Frederick, 16883 Delaware Road, Brookings. I'm slightly encouraged right now, just with it seems like there may be something happening with one of the items. And the other one, I have just an idea I'd like to kind of throw out there for it. With the new council, when it came in, there was just a lot of talk about the importance of tourism, and everyone thought it was really important. And I personally, and I may be missing things, but I've just not seen much happening with that. And there's a lot of money that I think is still sitting there that really should be eager to get that out there and encourage people to do some things. There has been a meeting recently that, again, it makes me feel much more encouraged about that we might be getting some kind of momentum on that. But I just think there's a lot of things that money can go to really help grow tourism. The Mushroom Festival, I'm going to say it again, great event. It's bigger every year, better every year. Laura with Art on the Coast, that event is getting bigger and better every year. Any of these that we can help grow, because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people coming forward to try and start some new stuff. And I think part of that problem is what I see as de-incentivizing that, dropping the amount of money, decreasing the amount of funds that are going to be available. And I'm going to go through my numbers here real quick again. 6-7 years ago, when we were starting an event, we got 3,000. That was the cap. And we gave back money at least once because we didn't need it all. But reducing that to $2,000, now we're down to 67% spending power. With inflation over that time, we're down to 56% spending power. And then making it, in some instances where they're able to get $500 and not even get that until after the event, that would indicate to me by action that there's no interest in increasing tourism or starting new events. So I think in this process of getting movement on the TLT money and stuff, I think we really need to look at the amount of money that is allowed for different things. There has to be an incentive because it's a big deal and it's a big risk. I mean, the first time we did one, we were terrified. So I just think that there's a really big item that should be looked at. But on the other note, on there, the community involvement, feedback, transparency, which was also a really big thing early on with this council. And I haven't seen that I've got any suggested open forums or meetings or anything to encourage that, or forms sent out, or surveys in particular. But my wife and I had a thought today that maybe one way to do that, especially with council meetings being earlier, maybe if there wasn't a workshop after, you could actually schedule like a public forum afterwards. I mean, you could do it here, you could do it at our place. We've got space. There's probably several places in town, Misty Mountain, maybe Black Trumpet, they've got a room, maybe even Track Sushi. You know, there's different places you can do this to make it, you know, a kind of an interesting, fun, encouraging way to get people to come out and talk to you and give you real feedback. And that might be an opportunity time to hand out surveys or something if you wanted to. But unless I'm missing something, I just haven't caught much. But I just think this might be an avenue that might be comfortable and easy for everybody. So I'd like to stay, but I got to go try and catch it on video.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next one, Larry, how do you pronounce your last name? Larry?
Yes, I'd just like to bring this to your attention.
If we can get your name and...
Yes. My name is Larry Alexi. I've lived here for 7 years. I rented an apartment. My landlord went to assisted living recently. I presently am homeless, living out of my car. I am disabled. I have 8 screws and 2 brackets going from the back. I have a doctor. I take Valium. I have to have water to take it for muscle cramps and spasms. Recently, on July 12th, I got pulled over pulling out a road. Yes, what I did was wrong, but I was out of water. I needed to get some pain medicine at the store. So when I pulled out, the police officer pulled me over. When he pulled me over, I didn't unbuckle, pulled a grocery outlet. He was verbally abusive to me, he was threatening, and he called in 2 other officers. I never got out of the car, I never unbuckled, and there was no threat. I was telling him I'd been here before on behalf of the police because of bad homeless people. So understand, I was going and gave a warning for reckless driving. He also said I didn't have proof of registration. He was so abrupt with me, it was in my glove box, and I couldn't get it until the next day, and I turned it in over here. He didn't need calling other police with it. We have people who are from out of town, and our speed limit changes about 7 times more in town. So I know what I did. I was doing a 39 and a 20 at 10 o'clock at night. I understand what I did is wrong. I have a driver's license, I have car insurance, I have proof of insurance, I have everything. And I explained that to them. I explained it. They kept saying it was a threat. And Officer Stevens, who wrote the ticket, said, I'll teach you a lesson, and you need a ticket. Well, I've asked for the police video from their camera. I haven't gotten it. Now, here's the problem. I understand what I did wrong. But we have out-of-towners who don't know or getting tickets, who spend money here, and they go home, and they're going to tell about it. So I understand what I did. All I need to do was slow down. I could have hurt somebody. I get that. Now, why did this upset me? I'm about done. Frederick, that was just here 2 years ago, 3 years ago, got an accident turning Dairy Queen. It's on my phone. The police blamed it on me. I got going clear around the road, my whole car was shattered. I asked for a reconstruction of the accident to prove that whether it was my fault or not. I came there, they took a picture of it, they sent it to your one officer who was on the bed. He never got back with me. I got video with the manager from Dairy Queen that's on my phone that shows somebody from out of town speeding. You can see it hidden. I proved that to the insurance. Frederick helped me for over a year because it pulled the muscles in my neck and everything. So with the speed limits, if I did not prove that to my insurance company through Derek, my car insurance would have gone up. It did not. I was not charged for it. So I understand what I did, I understand what's wrong, but I don't think they should be giving out tickets every single time when you have proof of insurance, car insurance, and rest. Now, if you're speeding or DUI or anything, yes, I believe that. It's reckless and all that. So I can see why they at first understood why I may have been a threat, but I wasn't, and I explained it, and that's it. Just looking to have a court hearing coming up on July 8th. Thank you.
Thank you. The third public comment is from Laura Brown regarding TPAC revenue. Good evening.
Hi, everybody. I'm Laura Brown. I'm the organizer of Art on the Coast.
And just for the record, can you state your address?
95713 Lands Lane.
Okay, thank you.
So I put on Art on the Coast. It's my 4th year, and I've been contacted several people in town who I was told that I should contact. Bob was the first one that owns the hot tub place. He and I talked about the TPAC dollars, and he said that I should be able to get some for my organization. And then I talked to a guy by the name of Andy, and I don't know if it was you.
It was.
It was, okay. Because you run the fishing place. Yes, great. And so I just wanted to see what's going on with the TPAC dollars. We hear nothing about it. And like, like Mike just said, we understand that the dollars are there, but we don't see how they're being spent. So just want to inquire.
And I would encourage you to talk to our city staff. There is an application to apply for a tourism grant or some funding for special events. So that is in place. And we normally we don't respond to the comments right now, but we did have a meeting last week regarding TPAC, and there may be some more happenings at a future city council meeting soon on that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, everybody. Agenda item F, the consent calendar, city council minutes for June 9th, and the monthly financial report.
Make a motion to approve the consent calendar and the financial report for May 2025 and the council minutes from June 9th, 2025.
I'll second.
Question?
Counselor Fulton.
Yes.
Counselor Pareda.
Yes.
Counselor Malmberg.
Yes.
Counselor Martin.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Agenda item G, staff reports, public hearings, ordinances, resolutions, and final orders. So G1, the fire engine or the one engine, this item has been pulled and it'll be on the next agenda.
It'll be on a future agenda. We're not sure if it'll be in the next one or maybe the next one after that.
And do we need a motion to remove this?
I think it might be best.
I motion to remove agenda item G1 of, in regard to the 2002 E1 engine refurbishment to a future meeting.
Second?
Question?
Counselor Fulton.
Yes.
Counselor Pareda.
Yes.
Counselor Malmberg.
Yes.
Counselor Martin.
Yes.
We have that motion carries.
Item G2, fire operations chief pickup truck purchase. And we have Chief McCray and Captain Watson here for that.
Good evening, Council, City Manager. We come before you tonight to request that you authorize the fire department to purchase one fire pickup from Roberson Motors for $43,126.50. and for that fire pickup to be outfitted by Cascade Fire and Equipment over in White City for $20,803.54, and with that, to authorize the finance director to enter into a financial agreement for this. Right off, I'll let Captain Watson just tell you a little bit about the pickup and why we're coming to you tonight.
So the pickup that we're requesting here, it would replace the current command vehicle, the Durango that we have. That Durango, it does have high mileage. It also doesn't have the capacity to carry most of the needed equipment we have on it. Just getting protective equipment in there right now pretty much taps that entire vehicle, and also doesn't allow any other personnel to be carried in there. So with this pickup, with the slide-in that it would have, it would offer more ability to carry any of our rescue equipment, our medical equipment, as well as our additional personnel. Right now, we're really only able to carry 2 people in there. We'd be up to 4 or 5 at that point, as far as personnel responding to the scene. It also has a higher capacity for getting to some of the places that we just can't quite get to with the Durango. It's going to have a little bit of a higher clearance and more ability to get to some of those more remote areas if we need to.
So this, this pickup request was discussed during the budget process, and at that time, council was supportive of moving forward with this. We're wanting to get a Dodge pickup from Roberson Motors, which is on a state pricing agreement for a negotiated price. The procurement policy does allow that to happen. What we also did, though, just to be sure that the Dodge was a wise purchase, we went out and also got quotes for the like Ford F-150 pickup, as well as a Chevy Silverado pickup. And with all 3 of those quotes from dealers that have state bid contracts, the Dodge still came in several $1,000s below what the Ford came in at. And Dodge is our preferred simply because most everything that we drive is Dodge, so it's common to those who are operating it. Plus, with the loss of Coast Auto, we've been able to start an agreement with Dodge in Coos Bay, who has agreed to come down and do our recall work on our Dodge vehicles, instead of having to shuttle vehicles back and forth to Coos Bay. So this just, just helps us further along with that logistically. And then also have the vehicle outfitted by Cascade Fire Equipment in White City. The Lair was about $800 less on the bid for the same outfitting, but with Cascade, we recommend and request going with them. It would be the same outfitting, but Lair, because of the suppliers they use for some of the equipment, is upwards of, I think it was 9 months, right? Or 6 to 8 months, yeah, 6 to 8 months. Longer than it was going to take for Cascade to do the same, with a couple of the major parts of equipment. Secondly, we did have Cascade who upfitted our CRO pickup, and there were a couple of things that had to be changed on that once we sat in it and decided to go with a different route than what we had originally planned. And because they're so close, only about 2.5 hours away, it made that transition a lot easier than driving the nearly 6 hours up to Salem and back to do the same thing. So that's why we have the request for Cascade, though they are about $800 more expensive.
Thank you for the thorough staff report on that. Any questions? I had one, Chief. Just what's the turnaround time on this?
So on the fire pickup, approximately 90 to 120 days. If you look at the quote that's on there, it does say that the fire red is not available yet. So I asked Roberson Dodge about that. They expect the pickup can be ordered now, and what happens is they build that pickup, but they don't paint the portions that have to be painted, which slows down part of that until that fire color is available. He said he expects it to be approximately 30 days longer than other colors right now, which if we were to order the pickup with any other color, he says about 90 days. This should add about 30 days to it. He said about 120 days to get the vehicle. Cascade is about just over 90 to 120 days out, so hopefully it would be just as seamless into Cascade. Cascade would have it out, they said, in less than a month. So if those timelines are correct, we're looking at approximately 5 months before we would expect to have the vehicle here ready to be loaded with equipment.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I motion to authorize the fire department to purchase one pickup truck from Roberson Motors, Inc. for $43,126.50 and to outfit it at Cascade Fire and Equipment for $20,803.54, and to authorize the finance director to enter into a financing agreement for this vehicle.
I'll second.
Question?
Counselor Prather.
Yes.
Counselor Malmberg.
Yes.
Counselor Fulton.
Yes.
Counselor Martin.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Okay, the next item is G3. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Council. City Manager.
Thank you.
So the Jacobs contract, and we have Public Works Director Barron for that.
Ready. Thank you, Mayor, Council President and Council. This is an annual review and authorization for an amendment to our contract with Jacobs CH2M Hill. This is for the operation of the wastewater treatment plant and water treatment facility. So I think every year we've had to address one of these, which is an amendment to our contract, which represents additional increases in, just operating costs and a CPI increase, which we all experience, I think. So if you have any questions, I have Dustin Nelson, who is the plant operator, here to answer any of those questions if you have them.
Any questions?
No, I mean, I was talking with the city manager before this, and maybe one of these Fridays when you have time, I'd like to do a little tour of the place and get a feel for some of the new stuff that we got planned up there with the upgrades to the wastewater treatment plant. But anyway, I appreciate the extra information that was provided prior to the meeting. It does help us to have something to compare it to, I think, in the future if we have some kind of reference to. It helps a little bit. So, yeah, thank you.
I didn't have any questions, but just a couple of comments and thoughts, and had asked specifically for a little bit of historical data and kind of trying to, we make the statement that there's a cost savings, but trying to gather that information and look at the hard numbers to see. And I pulled up old audit reports from prior to the contract, and then looked at the audit reports from 2024, and in that 7-year span, we are just now reaching the expenditures that we were all the way back in 2014. So I think that clearly does show that it is saving us as a city some funds. Also speaking directly to the challenge of staffing certified operators. In my time spent in meetings with LOC, it's very apparent that finding not just certified operators, but places for them to receive certifications is getting more and more difficult. So much so, in fact, that there were 2 House bills this legislative session that were put up and highly supported and advocated for by LOC. And there were more than 3,500 or 3,400, close to 3,500 legislative bills that were put up, and LOC only advocated for 9. So that shows what an actual concern and issue this is for our cities. Many cities cannot hire staff to certified operators to run their wastewater and water treatments. And so I'm grateful that we have this contract and have that in place where we don't have to worry about those concerns. And in addition to that, I do believe that the numbers and public record supports the cost savings that the city has realized.
Thank you, Councilor Prada. I actually had the same conversation with the city manager for the meeting. We discussed those same issues. I'm glad that the city has this partnership with Jacobs Engineering because of their expertise in other communities. We also, operating a wastewater treatment plant and a water plant, there's a big liability, and their expertise helps us, definitely helps us be compliant with DEQ regulations and avoid fines that a lot of cities throughout Oregon face just all of a sudden because of a violation from a paperwork error to an accidental discharge. So their expertise, I'm sure, has saved the city money there. And then on the workers' comp insurance, there's been a big savings there as well.
Yeah, I think it was really some wise foresight and planning.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to authorize the city manager to sign amendment number 2 for CH2M Hill Engineers commencing July 1st, 2025 and concluding June 30th, 2026.
I'll second.
Question?
Councilor Malmberg.
Yes.
Councilor Fulton.
Yes.
Councilor Breda.
Yes.
Councilor Martin.
Yes.
The motion carries.
So item G4, Cinnamon Run Greens mower purchase.
Corsco has put in a request to purchase a used greens mower. The one they currently have has got 18,000 hours on it. It's pretty rough. It's difficult to keep going. They've had it broke down several times, which has put them really far behind on mowing. We did, I think, mention something about this in budget, that was potentially one of their capital requests to purchase when they hadn't at the time found any prices for one, but they recently did, because I think they've got to the point where they just can't fix the one they have. So they found they got 3 quotes. The lowest is $32,000. It's the exact piece of machinery that they need. There's a specific amount of blades that it's supposed to have with the type of greens that we have at Salmon Run. So it matches their need. It's used. A new one of this type, 8-blade, I'm going to say new. It's a Toro, so it probably costs somewhere in the neighborhood between $70,000 and $85,000 new. So they're shooting for the lowest that they can and getting used. It's got, I believe, 1,400 hours or 3,000 hours. One of them has 1,400 hours, but it's not quite the one we need. So anyway, do you have any questions?
Because it's used, it's available immediately and there's no wait on it.
And it's outfitted just for what they need. So.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
I'll motion to authorize city manager to purchase a used greens mower from Turf Star Western in the amount of $32,000.
I second.
Question?
Councilor Fulton.
Yes.
Councilor Breda.
Yes.
Councilor Malmberg.
Yes.
Councilor Martin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Tony. So item H, remarks from mayor, councilors, and city manager.
I thank staff for adding just that announcement in regards to meeting, and I also saw that it was on the website as a news notification, so I think it's important to try to make sure people are aware of those changes, so thank you for that.
I have a comment. Last week, I met with the city manager, a couple of business owners in town, attended Bob from Hearth and Home and Mike from Chukka Brewery, and we talked about TPAC and tourism promotion and downtown improvements. And the city is already working on, sounds like a pretty exciting website. But we talked about tourism promotion ideas and bringing back TPAC. And I strongly favor reassembling the TPAC committee and actually expanding the duties to make recommendations to the council and city staff on downtown improvements, tourism promotion, events, and some economic development. And I would like to see the city move quickly on it to at least get a committee formed and an advisory panel, and have them come up with what their charge will be. What are they gonna? What do they want to do? What do they want to accomplish? What are the parameters for event promotion? So, and it was a good discussion, I thought. Lori was there as well with the city manager, and I would like to see the staff come up with some suggestions for us and get something on the agenda where we can move on this. But I also encourage other council members, if they have feelings about this or ideas, to share those with the city staff as they craft a possible item for our agenda coming up.
Yeah, I agree, and I think tourism is really important for our local economy and our local businesses here, and we need to do what we can to help to promote it, especially as Mike had mentioned, during the winter months. There's a lot of great activities like the Mushroom Festival and the Festival of Lights that we have for the Christmas time of year. But I fully support looking into a way to improve upon TPAC. Maybe there were some things that worked well last time and things that maybe didn't work so well. And I think it's a great opportunity. We have people interested in looking at how can we improve upon it and make it a useful tool for us. And as others have mentioned, have local businesses and local interests have input on where those funds are spent.
Anyone else? We'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy this nice fourth day of summer. Adjourn at 7:33.
Oh no, solstice.